Now on CoastTV News.
SNAP benefits, rules around who can use the program getting stricter after the new year. Despite being closed for months, the Indian River Power Plant back in the news. What happened there just recently? Training for barbers, but not for cutting hair. What's required in Maryland as of January 1st.
The chill in the air is being exacerbated thanks to the small craft advisory active along the entire Delmarva coastline.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Rules for using this EBT card changing in 2026. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11 on tonight at 10 due to network New Year's Eve coverage. We'll get there in just a little bit. Our top story tonight is expanded work requirements for those receiving food benefits in Delaware. Around 120,000 people in the state rely on SNAP benefits. That's a food assistance program that applies to certain groceries. As CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken shows us, stricter work rules to qualify for this aid go into effect January 1st.
Shopping for food. For some people who rely on money from the government to supplement these grocery costs, the rules are becoming stricter January 2026. A 3-month grace period expires New Year's Day, so the following individuals will lose benefits if they don't work 80 hours a month or participate in a volunteer program. Now, able-bodied adults up to 64 years old must work to get SNAP. It was previously 55. Additionally, past exemptions for adults including being homeless, a veteran, or in foster care at the age of 18 no longer apply. Fred Murray is one of the thousands of Delawareans who uses SNAP. As a senior, he questions the logic behind these expanded rules.
That's not right. It's not good. Take care of us.
There are a number of exemptions, like for pregnant women and those going to college. But Jeanette, who previously used SNAP, says she understands tightening rules up.
Too many people milk the system, and taxpayers pay it out, you know? I mean, everybody, we don't want to see anybody hungry, but the case in point is, you know, you got to give a little to get a little too. You know, you can't just sit back and expect to collect and, you know, drive brand new cars and all that.
DHSS says it is SNAP recipients' responsibility to contact your case manager to ensure they are still eligible and meeting work requirements to get benefits. For CoastTV News, I'm Emma Aiken.
SNAP is a federal program, so Delaware agencies say they can't change any rules. Delaware does, however, offer an employment and training program for those struggling to get work. SNAP is income-based, and what you get varies on how big your family is. As we take a live look outside, our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now with a look at our forecast.
Well, you know, Maddie, we start off with taking a look at our New Year countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1. When we have Happy New Year, which is just a moment or two away, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies with temperatures in the 30s, but it's going to be cold. Definitely going to be cold, so please keep that in mind. I mean, from earlier this evening, we had some few scattered clouds in place. Now, we do have small craft advisories that are active throughout the entire Delmarva Peninsula. Now, that's important because the temperatures are taking a nosedive, and so the wind chill is going to be a big factor. In fact, starting in the morning, we're going to start off feeling like 18 degrees. That's dangerously low as far as the wind chill is concerned, and then we'll ride into the 20s for the rest of the time period, but it's just not one day. In fact, we're looking at 17 by Thursday evening. The wind chill will drop to 17 degrees, and then it gets progressively worse, believe it or not, as we go into Saturday, even Sunday, even going into Monday. So this is going to be a problem dealing with bitter and dangerous cold that's not just one day, will extend for 4 to 5 days before we finally get a warming trend in here that may kick in as early as Tuesday. But we've got to get through all these extremely cold days first before we even get to that point, Maddie.
Thank you, Paul. Several warming centers were open to keep people safe during cold temperatures. The Delaware Health and Social Services says there are stations like the one at the Adams State Service Center in Georgetown. There's some across the state. In addition, Code Purple shelters are open for emergency nighttime housing, but these shelters can only open if there are volunteers. And this brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know who should run warming centers. Take a look at the results so far. You could see kind of a mixed bag in people who are voting. And we do have a comment from William in Rehoboth. William says community groups with the help of churches and nonprofits should run those warming centers. If you haven't voted yet or want to leave a comment, please do so, coasttv.com or our mobile app. New Year's Eve is here, and a reminder that the Delaware Office of Highway Safety brought back the Sober Rides program for tonight. The Don't Drop the Ball campaign means you can get a $20 voucher for Lyft and Uber. Vouchers are redeemable until 3 a.m. New Year's Day. Go to mysoberrides.com to get them. It is the end of the line for coal trains on Delmarva. The last one left the closed Indian River power plant this week as trains finished taking leftover coal from the plant. One Sussex County man made it his mission to film all of them along the tracks.
So seeing the last coal train on the peninsula was really an emotional ending, but it just shows that the world is changing one bit at a time.
The Indian River power plant closed in February. It's the site where offshore wind farm companies want to build a substation to bring power onshore. Starting tomorrow in Maryland, when a licensed barber or cosmetologist goes to renew their license, they will be required to participate in a domestic violence awareness training course. That course will give tips on recognizing the signs of domestic violence, ways to navigate conversations, and tools connecting clients with resources and support groups.
A lot of times, women and men confide into their cosmetologist or their barber just to let steam go and tell somebody about what's going on in their life. And maybe we can give them pointers because we've been dealing with so many different people and different personalities that we probably ran across it one time in our lifetime in this profession.
The Maryland training will last 1 hour and it can be done in person or virtually. In Dewey Beach, the Starbird says it will host a fundraiser for fallen Delaware State Police Corporal Matthew Ty Snook. Snook was shot and killed while working overtime at a Wilmington DMV before Christmas. According to organizers, the fundraiser is January 8th. There will be off-duty Delaware State Police guest bartenders. The restaurant says all proceeds, including sales and tips, will go directly to the Snook family. And we have a lot more news to get to this last day of 2025. Minimum wage hike. Where on Delmarva workers will see more money tomorrow. 2025, what a year, right? Charlie Sakaitis has a look back at the top stories that defined Delmarva. And later, Paul Williams, who's in our First Alert Weather Center with your full forecast. From snowstorms to political upheaval to beached whales and more, 2025 was a packed year in news. And as we get ready to ring in the new year, let's take a look back and take stock of the stories that captured attention of all of us living here on the coast. Charlie Sakaitis has your year in review.
January started out with stormy weather and icy roads.
Here's a look at some of the snowfall totals. Bethel, 12.8. Bridgeville, 12.5, along with Milton and Millsboro.
And just a few days later, a different kind of danger.
The vapor cloud is straight up north towards Market Street.
A shelter-in-place alert at the Purdue plant in Georgetown after the wrong kind of chemicals were accidentally mixed together. In February, PJM Interconnection making a major announcement. The last coal-fired power generator in Delaware was being shut down. Then in March, sad news. Back-to-back whale deaths. Midway through the month, a 35-foot, 14-ton whale washed ashore near Conquest Road at Delaware Seashore State Park.
That was pretty wild. I'd never seen anything like it.
And later that same month, another whale was found near the Indian River Inlet Bridge.
It was kind of had some mixed feelings on whether I wanted to see it dead.
March also the month when Milton Representative Stell Parker Selby was officially sworn in.
She's doing very well. She was actually sworn into office today.
It took place at her home, and at the time, the public had more questions than answers, as Parker Selby had not been seen at the state legislature since the General Assembly convened back in January. In April, two ex-volunteer firefighters in Millville, Jay Droney and Jordan Hastings, were charged with a hate crime after allegedly chasing a black employee with a noose.
We will not tolerate it.
The event in question happened in February 2024, but only came to light this past year. Ultimately, Droney and Hastings were charged with felony hate crimes. That legal process is ongoing. April is also the month when Rehoboth Beach regulars saw the demolition of the Boardwalk Grottos and Jam Bistro.
unbelievable to see it all coming down.
Removing the long-standing pizza staple is part of making way for the Atlantic Crown Hotel. In May, angry homeowners.
I think we've overpaid for our homes.
People in the Osprey Point neighborhood say they were sold a bill of goods that was never delivered on, leading to multiple lawsuits. June is the month where the ongoing Stell Parker-Selby saga came to a head. After a full 6 months, Representative Parker-Selby was still absent from the state legislature. On June 10th, CoastTV went to Legislative Hall to try to get some answers.
Madam Speaker, why do you refuse to speak to us? Madam Speaker, what's your message to the people of the district who have not had a single vote on their behalf?
We're in a picture right now.
June 17th, Democratic Representative Medina Wilson-Anton broke ranks with her own party.
I think leadership benefits from this. I do. And I think there are people in my party who think that this is best because they want the seat to stay Democrat, which I think is disgusting.
And ultimately, on June 24th, Representative Stell Parker-Selby officially resigned, citing a serious medical emergency suffered the previous December, and writing, quote, "While I am proud of the strides I've made, I must acknowledge with honesty and humility that I can no longer serve this district with the full energy, presence, and focus that it rightfully deserves." In July, a pair of tragedies. First, on July 12th, 27-year-old Gregory Keratu of Kenya went missing in the surf off of Olive Avenue. He was later found dead in the ocean off of Cape Henlopen State Park. And then on July 16th, a teenager, 18-year-old Yorch Niz Chalil, went missing, swept away by the Broadkill River, where he drowned. In August, Mother Nature taking a bite out of the coast. Erosion, tidal flooding after Hurricane Erin left its mark.
This storm in particular just happened to have very strong winds that were driving the water into the inland bays.
On into September, the Lewis Fire Department found itself in the news as former Chief Bill Buckaloo returned from a suspension for using a racial slur in a public setting.
Evans says Buckaloo was, quote, accused of loudly using the N-word in a derogatory and loud manner, which was overheard by a black patron.
Buckaloo's return was the beginning of a month-long drama that included members of the Lewis Fire Department calling for Buckaloo to resign.
In my opinion, for the best interest of the Lewis Fire Department, it would be good for Mr. Buckaloo to resign.
Next, the Fire Department Board of Directors removed Buckaloo for at least 2 years, but that decision was then overturned so Buckaloo could come back, and all the while eliciting all sorts of reaction from the public.
What are our standards as a society when some guy can make the remark like the ex-chief did in front of a group of people?
I don't think it should be a life sentence as far as him never being allowed back in. So at this point, I think what they did is justified.
In October, the coast was hit with flooding, road closures, and as is so common, erosion. It was all an effect of the nor'easter that battered the coast.
It's always amazing what water can do, and you can't stop water no matter what you do.
Also in October, the chair of the Sussex County Democratic Party, Jeff Bulk, resigned after decades-old sexual assault and sodomy convictions came to light. In November, Governor Matt Meyer announced a sweeping $1 billion proposal to overhaul rural health care across the state, including Delaware's first 4-year medical school and Hope Center-style facilities in both Kent and Sussex counties.
The goal is to deliver health care where people are.
And in December, Trooper Matthew Tyler Snook was shot and killed while working overtime at a Wilmington DMV.
What happened today was an act of pure evil.
A vigil was later held in Georgetown, and fundraising efforts for the family continue to this day. A farmer and the Bay Forest Homeowners Association clashed over rogue corn husks and who should foot the bill for the cleanup. And we celebrated another great Christmas here along the coast in Delmarvelous style.
Children laughing, people passing.
You can feel the Christmas spirit all around Milton.
I have this book.
The holiday hero in question sweating gumdrop.
Matt Pensing, this year's Cinderella.
Sharing joy in Georgetown for a Feliz Navidad.
And that is your year in review. So what will 2026 hold for us? Who's to say? But one thing is for sure, Coast TV News will be there to cover it all. Charlie Sakaitis.
The final hours of our holiday house, some of our favorite decorations after this. And masks again required at some Delmarva hospitals where you need to wear them when we return.
Well, as we get ready to round that last corner of 2025, listen, we're staying a bit on the cloudy side for right now, but it's looking rather tranquil at this present time. By the way, we might actually catch a little renegade snow flurry or two for Thursday morning. Other than that, I think we're going to stay relatively clear of any adverse precipitation. Now, just in reviewing the year, hey, the warmest day we had was 101, which is actually on June the 25th. The lowest temperature reading for the year was actually on the 23rd of January. Snowiest day, 14 inches of snow, actually. And then we had the wettest month, 4.5, just over 4.5 inches in the month of September. 2 confirmed tornadoes in May and in June. And so it's been an interesting year with our statistic or climatological reports. Right now where we are, we're about 3 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago at this particular time. Our New Year's Eve planner, listen, plan on it staying cloudy for the night with our New Year's Day. Kicking off with cloud cover, staying a bit on the thick side, watching out for, like we're saying, maybe a renegade flurry or two. But the small craft advisory, that is active for our area from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague, and we have that same concern on the other side. Now, when I'm saying a small craft advisory, we are talking about 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts for the bridge on one side and along the shore for the other side. But overall, the precipitation is staying well to our north and northwest. But we're going to get those slices that may visit us here by 2 o'clock in the morning. We may see a mix possibly right along the Kent and the Sussex line briefly as the cloud cover pushes through. It's this line right here that's going to be a very small line, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's going to slide to really quickly by 8 o'clock. So I'm not expecting to stick around for a long period of time, which is why I'm not making the precipitation such a big deal. But notice by mid-morning, the wind's coming out of the northwest at 32 miles per hour, 34 for us actually in Rehoboth. And then as we go into Thursday afternoon, it continues to push out of the northwest. That's going to put a chill in the air. But the winds are primarily moving out of the west for most of the beaches. Temperatures will be either slightly below or slightly above the 40-degree mark. Now let's talk wind chill because that's our big story. We're looking to 18 to kick off for Thursday morning. Then we go up to 21, 22 and stay in the 20s. But the fact that we hit the teens just briefly, that's enough to catch your attention. So it's chilly and breezy, all right? And we're looking at 37 for the high in Georgetown, 35 in Seaford. We'll get a chance to warm to 36 for the high in Cambridge as well as Vienna, 37 in Federalsburg, and then we'll warm to about 39 in Ocean City and Berlin, but 41 in Chincoteague and Pocomoke City. So when you take a look at our expectations, I'm looking at that precipitation, I'm tracking it with a different model here. And we see by 6:30 we get those flurries through Ellendale, Milton, Georgetown. But then it slides through by 8:30, it's out of here, and it's a fast mover, and it's not all that strong, but it may actually give you enough time to take a quick picture, okay? But Friday we stay very clear and we start getting really cold by then. Here's the big story, the wind chill factor. Feeling like 17 by Thursday evening, okay? Then Friday morning, we start off in the 20s, but then by Saturday morning, we're going to be in the teens again, and then we're going to the teens again for Sunday, even going into Monday, back to 16. So let's keep that in mind as we're bundling up, okay? Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Happy New Year to you, because we're only moments away from it, but it's still going to be cold that first few days until we get to next Tuesday and Wednesday when we'll finally warm up, Maddie.
Paul, thank you. Virginia workers will see a small bump in the state's minimum wage starting January 1st. The state rate rises from $12.41 an hour up to $12.77. That's a 36-cent increase tied to inflation.
I think the sooner the better, and that would really help people just being able to live their day-to-day.
Supporters say even small increases can help people keep up with everyday costs. Critics, however, say higher payroll can put pressure on small businesses, potentially leading to higher prices or fewer hours. The University of Maryland medical system facilities are requiring masks again in patient care areas. UM Shore Regional Health says the measure is being implemented to protect patients. They say it's due to an increase in respiratory illness. Visitors not in compliance will not be allowed to enter patient rooms, according to the University of Maryland.
We salute Chief Ralph W. Holm Jr. Chief Holm leads the Georgetown Police Department with a deep commitment to community partnership and service. Under his leadership, the department is dedicated to serving the diverse Georgetown community with fairness and empathy. He focuses on training officers not only in law enforcement techniques, but also in engaging positively with residents, especially the youth. His philosophy, in service to our community, reflects a guiding principle of inclusivity and protection for all who live in or visit Georgetown. Chief Holm's leadership continues to strengthen the bond between the police and the community, ensuring safety and mutual respect.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
We are in the final 24 hours of our holiday house. We love seeing your decorations, and we're showing you some from Janice in Milton. She says, I love decorating. I put angels at the top of the tree in honor of family members that have passed. That was beautiful. Thank you for showing us your home and watching, Janice. Tomorrow is the last day we'll show off holiday decorations, so if you still want to make air, send them to us, please. CoastTV.com/holidayhouse, and maybe we'll get them in tomorrow. We'll be right back. If you're looking for last-minute New Year's Eve plans, you still have about 90 minutes to make it to these, and we got it for you, so we got your plans here. The Overfalls Foundation, they hosted a 7 p.m. family-friendly anchor drop. Well, now they're doing a later one for those who want to stay up late. That's in Lewis at the historic Lightship. Over in Dewey Beach, the Crush Drop brings Delaware's state drink down on New Orleans. In Maryland, Princess Anne is known for the muskrat dive. True story. Marshall Muskrat glides down a zip line at midnight, and Ocean City's fireworks display takes place in 2 locations. There's one downtown on the beach near Dorchester Street, and more fireworks uptown at Northside Park, Paul.
I must admit, Maddie, I didn't know anything about that muskrat story. It's got to be. Who's doing that on purpose? And it's not. All right. Anyway, Ocean City, we're looking very clear at this point. Small craft advisory still active for us at Slaughter Beach, Broadkill Beach, as well as Lewis. Bracing for 25-mile-per-hour winds, Rehoboth Beach, Indian Beach, all the way down towards Indian View, and then Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague. So keep that in mind. By the way, Happy New Year as you get ready to enjoy your New Year's festivities. During the daytime, we're looking about 39 degrees actually for the high, partly cloudy skies. All right. So our umbrella winner is actually Paul from Lewis, pardon me. And you can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by Brockstedt, Mandalis, and Federico. And here's a look at your 10-day.
All right, Paul, thank you. And thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News. For more news and local weather, you can download our app. A Toast to 2025 is up next with NBC. And we will see you tomorrow morning if you're up. Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.